Hey scholars, this is going to be our final lesson for the week about solving equations. And what we're going to do is practice 1, solving equations that have fractions, and then 2, doing some more word problem practice and writing equations for real world situations. So let's start off by doing some fraction problems to help us practice solving equations. So we're going to do the top left together, and you will do the top right on your own. So let's look at this first question here where it says x plus 4 and 5/6 equals 9. So I'm going to show you a strategy about how we're going to solve this and then go from there. So if I want to solve this, I can do the same thing on both sides of the equal sign to maintain equality and somehow isolate the variable x. So if I see that I'm adding to x 4 and 5/6, I can get rid of that, what's being added, by subtracting that from that number. But if I do it to the left side of the equation, to maintain a balance, I have to do the same thing to the right side of the equation. Now, I know that 4 and 5/6, taking away 4 and 5/6, will just make that cancel out and turn into 0. So therefore, I'm going to be left with x equals 9 minus 4 and 5/6. Now I have to somehow solve this right here, this math problem. Now this is a reminder of how to subtract fractions. I can't subtract that mixed number from a whole number 9. So I have to rewrite number 9 into a whole number with some fractional value. So I'm going to rewrite 9 by having 8, 1 less than 9, and taking one of those numbers and turning it into a 6/6. Because 8 and 6/6 is the same thing as writing 9. I'm just splitting it apart into a whole and a fractional part. And I'm going to subtract the 4 and 5/6. Now I have enough fractions to subtract the fraction, so I'm going to subtract the whole numbers. 8 minus 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract the fractions. 6/6 minus 5/6 gives me 1/6. So therefore, my answer is going to be this combination here, which means that x equals 4 and 1/6. Looking at the model on the left side, I want you now to try the right problem. Pause here so you have some time to practice, and continue the video when you have some time to work. Here's the work you should have had for the right problem. The same solution came out of 4 and 1/6. Check here for your work to see it matches, and then we're going to continue on to do the bottom two equations. So now we have some more fraction problems. We're going to do the same process. I'm going to model the left and you will try the right. So for example, it says 5/7 times x equals 55. Remember that when you have a number next to a variable, this represents multiplication. So to think about that, if I want to solve this, I have to do the inverse operation or opposite operation on both sides. If I'm multiplying by 5/7, to help me find the answer for x, I need to divide both sides by 5/7. And I'm doing a fractional bar to help me see that division there. And that helps me because dividing 5/7 by 5/7 gives me 1. So that essentially becomes a 1. So I'm left with an x, and I have a division problem here of 55 divided by 5/7. So I know you've learned earlier this year about how to divide by fractions. If you divide by fractions, you make this first number over 1 to make it look like a fraction, and you want to multiply by the reciprocal or flip the second fraction. So now I have 55 over 1. Change division to multiplication, and then find the reciprocal of 5/7, which is 7/5. Now, as you know, you multiply across top across the bottom, but I want to show you a strategy here. I noticed that these two numbers can easily divide into each other to simplify them. And I see that I can divide both of them by 5. If I divide 5 by 5, I get 1. If I divide 55 by 5, I get 11. So therefore, it's an easier problem to work out, the smaller numbers. So my x will be 11 times 7, which is 77, and over 1 times 1, which is 1. So my x value is just going to be 77. So I did a few steps here for you to model after. Try the problem on the right on your own. Pause here so you have some time to practice, and continue the video when you have some time to work. Here is the work on the right. Look at the work, make sure your work looks correct on your paper and your paper matches the video all the way, so you have the exemplar work to refer to in your notes. And when we are good at reviewing this problem, we're going to move forward to the back of the notes to look at some more problems. So on the back, we're going to do the following. I'm going to model 1 and 2, and then you will do 3 and 4 on your own after you look at the model. And what we're going to do is the following. We're going to circle all of the equations that describe the situation, and then we're going to find a solution for each situation. And I'm going to take some steps to help us get there because we don't want to jump all the way to the conclusion. Let's think about what our variable means and how we can draw a picture to help represent that situation to help us find what equations match. So here's a model for number 1. Claire has 8 fewer books than Mai. So looking at that sentence, I know that Claire has less books than Mai. If Mai has 26 books, how many books does Claire have? So my question is asking, how many books does Claire have? So I'm going to say my variable x is number of books Claire has. That's my unknown, I don't know. But I do want to unpack this problem, think to myself, what do I know? I know Claire has less books, so Claire probably will be a part of the diagram. And I know that Mai has a total of 26 books. So I know Claire has 8 less than Mai. So I know that there's going to be some part taken away of 8. But what I don't know is what Claire has, and that's my x value here. So I want to find out what is the value of this tape diagram right here that will make this true. And so I have to ask myself, what equations make sense for this? Should I do 26 minus x and I would get 8? That makes sense because if I take away x from 26, I'm going to be left with 8. Does x look like it is going to be 26 plus 8? That doesn't make sense. So therefore I'm going to x this out. This does not make sense. Can I do x plus 8 equals 26? That makes sense because the tape diagram shows those two being added to make 26. Could I take 26 and take away the 8 and find x? That also makes sense. So that one also rings true. So using my diagram, I can ask myself, what number plus 8 would give me 26? And using some mental math, I can see that x would equal 18 books. Because 8 plus 18 equals 26. So let's follow that same process and try number 2 together to draw a picture to represent it, and then go from there. So let's read it together. A coach formed teams of 8. So there's teams of 8 from all the players in a soccer league. And there are 14 teams. How many players are in the league? So what I don't know in my question is x equals number of players in a league. So I had to ask myself, how would I find X, the number of total players? Well, what I know though is that there are 8 teams, and each group of teams there's 8 players in a team, and there are 14 groups of those 8. So what I'm going to do is the following. It looks like I have a bar, and there are 14 groups in here. So I'm going to try to draw accurately 14 groups. So that should be 14, and there's 14 groups of 8. 14 teams. All right. So, and that represents the number of players, which is my X. So I have to ask myself, how could I find X using this diagram? It's going to be the whole entire tape. So let's think about that, how we could represent that. Could I find X by saying Y equals 14 divided by 8? So I see here, actually, let's do this. I'm going to change this to a Y because my equations say Y, just to be consistent. So let's recap that again. So is Y equal to 14 divided by 8? That doesn't make sense. We don't divide 8 into 14 to find a number of players. So I'm going to X this. Could I take the number of players, divide them into teams of 8 to get 14 teams? I can. So I can circle this one here. If I have a number of players and I multiply it by 1/8, which is dividing into groups of 8 and get 14, that also works here. Could I find Y by multiplying 14 times 8? Because there's 14 teams of 8. That also makes sense. So to do that, let's find out what Y is. Let's multiply 14 times 8. Do some quick math on the side. I'm going to get 112, so Y equals 112 players. So I have a model for you for number 1, number 2. I want you now to use this model to help you do number 3 first. Pause here, check number 3, and then try number 4. Pause again and check number 4. Here's a solution for number 3. The tape diagram is shown there to represent Tyler's points versus Kieran's points. The first, second, and fourth equations make sense, and the Z comes out to 186 points. I'm going to scroll on to number 4. Read number 4, identify the variable, draw a tape diagram, find the equations, and find a value of W. Pause here again, and then continue the video when you have your answer. Here is the answer for number 4. The tape diagram, W represents miles that Jada has run. The first, second, and third equations are good, and W comes out to be 9 miles. After the video, you will take your X ticket for today's lesson.